Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Algorand. Specifically, can Algo make you a millionaire going into the next cycle? Well, it really just kind of depends on how much you are willing to DCA in and how much you can actually afford to DCA in. I am personally watching to see if we do retest this demand range going all the way back to around November of 2020. This is sitting at about roughly almost 22 cents itself. Do I think that this opportunity that we have right now in front of us is a good, DCA in option? Sure, 100%. I think that this is a great area to really kind of start, DCAing in a little bit, because even if you go back to around the 2020 timeframe, or even going as far back as 2019, we are at those prices yet again. Now, why do I think that we could come down a little bit lower? Well, we have been transacting against or I shouldn't say transacting, but moving against the major resistance zone of the 10-week EMA. As you guys do see by this yellow line here, we have been rejecting off of it quite a bit. We are still very well in a bearish market. RSI has been in a bearish sort of stance since going as far back as, basically around September of 2021. And you could technically argue that we've been around this bearish sort of RSI formation since February of 2021 on the weekly. Now, when we really kind of look at Algorand, what is the upside potential here? What, can we really do off of these lows? Well, we kind of go back to 2020 and we kind of look at where, we really kind of, led to. This market is very surprising. We are surprised all the time with what actually happens around this space, specifically with price movements. There's really no way to actually argue what is going to happen or predict what is going to happen. We can only kind of make hypothetical guesses off what we have seen in the past off of price action alone. That is why technical analysis doesn't really go all that way, if you will. It's not like a perfect picture being printed on the chart. But what we can say is when we look at Algorand in the past and look at where we are currently, with a lot more money coming in, with a lot more development happening on Algorand, with a lot more growth, we could see substantial moves to the upside. Now, when we really kind of look at this chart, again, like I said, a lot of these price predictions don't really matter too much. We really just kind of look at where we can go from, breaking out into a major bullish pattern and where, the resistance is. I usually like to trade the chart. I don't like to trade fib levels, as I can't really, base things off of just fib levels themselves. But, why I look at them and why I really kind of utilize fib levels is they are a good way to kind of base what is going to happen next. Specifically going back to around 2020, here is the top and the bottom of 2020, as we do see back here. I know that we can technically go off of this, but I kind of look at where we topped out and where we kind of bottomed out on, resistance as well as support. And when we really kind of look at this, we did breach up and actually surpass the 4618. I was actually really kind of looking at the $1.96 zone. We broke up, hit some major resistance slightly above that outreach of that fib level, and then kind of fell down. Meaning, if we do kind of have that substantial run where we do kind of top out at about like the 4618, which is a common area to, see altcoins top out at, we could see a 54, almost a 55x opportunity here off of these nice lows. Now, what would that actually look like? It would be about a $12.34 algo. And the market cap for this would be around $84.8 billion. We would be sitting at around like $12.30. It's not a bad market cap at all, especially when you look at some other tokens like Dogecoin, you look at ADA, even XRP, etc. Algo has some pretty great tokenomics to it. So when we really kind of look at the growth on the ecosystem and we, combine that with what has been happening on, Twitter, on socials and stuff like that, with the growth about, Algorand and things like that, I could very well see this performing pretty substantially going into the next major bull run. Now, is the $12.30 zone or so guaranteed? Not at all. Again, we kind of just look at this on if we are going to target that 4618, as it is a common fib level in this space to really kind of target. Where would I be taking out my initial investment out at? It's basically wherever we start to weaken, and that could very well be at the previous all-time high, which would be about a 12x opportunity. It could be at the 1618 up here at about $4.47 or so, which would be about a 19.5x opportunity. Or we could just kind of smash through targets and target this 4618. It's a very common thing that we see in this market where we do go into price discovery and it just kind of goes parabolic, and we do see a ton of FOMO in happening. Now, like I said, what is going to be the player behind a lot of these major moves within this market? Well, it's going to be market demand as well as community growth. I just recently told you guys about why community growth behind a lot of these tokens does matter. It not only helps them build in a bear market, but it also builds a lot of hype around the token itself. It builds out the community. It builds out, dApps, things like that. It gets the community engaged. It gets the community hyped up. It gets the community to grow. And it brings a lot more eyes to the project. And we actually do see here a packed house for the Intro to Web3 and Algorand panel last night in New York City. Follow the projects on Twitter. They have been doing some nice marketing, even during a bear market, which you always love to see. Algorand has not slowed down at all, by the way. If you actually go check out their Twitter pages or their socials, they're constantly posting. They're constantly in the loop on things. I personally love to see that during a bear market. Remember, I've always said that during these times is when a team is supposed to be 100%, active, building. Building things right now in this market is crucial for the success of any network, by the way. If your asset or if your project is not building right now, you're not going to make it out of the bear market. Why? Because we want to see live projects during a bull run. We don't want to see, startups and, take a risk with startups. We've done that in the past. For example, Jigstack was a project that we did take a little bit of a risk on. It was more so of a startup company, but it did promise the world. Again, things like that are very risky in this market. And it ended up, being a very bad loser in this market. It does suck to see. I lost a ton of money on that project. So when we really kind of look at some of these major assets and these networks, we want to choose assets that are not only showing you that they are building things, but you could also see the growth on, for example, the ecosystem, which I just shared with you guys yesterday. We are seeing a ton of numbers pushing through the network. We actually do see total addresses 26.6 million, and you do see these metrics are up massively. Nodes in the last 7 days sitting at about 1,433. You also do see the transactions in the last 7 days sitting at about almost 3 million. And we just recently discussed these. I think that these are great statistics, and I honestly will consider the fact that by the time that we get back into a bullish market, these numbers are going to be completely diverse. We will most likely see doubling of the transactions. We will see doubling of the addresses, and a lot of the TVL that we also see will rise drastically. And also Algo, which is the major leader behind the TVL, they're the number one holder of TVL on Algorand. They just pushed a major update, which you also love to see, is dApps also pushing major updates, continuously building, and also building up some hype around the ecosystem. And we actually do see our months of hard work have culminated in the launch in the launch of a markedly more capital efficient and diversified stablecoin. And we do see unlimited collateral assets composable, DAOs, protocols can mint as well as stable 2 XLP tokens as collateral. They're continuously pushing the boundaries, and we are seeing a lot of updates being pushed from the team as well as the apps that are building out on Algorand. And like I said, going all the way back in time, Algorand was a major winner even during 2021 from the 2020 lows, and I do believe that it will continue to build out and become a major winner. I did do a full-on breakdown of Algorand during 2021, really kind of going in depth on the team, going in depth on the projects, and we really kind of came to the realization that the team behind Algorand is going to continue to build no matter what. And they're going to achieve some pretty great things as their background resumes also prove their efficiencies within this market. And also, I do feel the need to talk to you guys about, the ecosystem itself. We have been watching the ecosystem continue to grow, and we do see some of the newest projects. Algo is one of them, but there's a ton of other ones here as well. I think we recently discussed the ecosystem of Algorand and how it has been building out pretty fast, and there is an extraordinary amount of names on here as well. Some pretty strong ones. The NFT sector is booming on Algorand as well. We've been watching that. And even with grants, too. We've been seeing a lot of grants being pushed from the Algorand Foundation. Definitely follow them on Twitter as well. They've been killing it recently. We do see a few of their grants being put to work, and we also do see a lot of their grant recipients. I also love the fact to see them in the real estate market. Lofty AI, absolutely killing it right now. I don't know if Algorand actually has that post up, but Lofty is actually doing some pretty cool things in regards to like giveaways and stuff like that on Twitter, and building up some hype around that asset, or I should say, app itself. And I just recently talked to you guys about like why the real estate market is crucial for a lot of like the projects in this space to get into, because when we really kind of look at real estate, tokenization of the real estate market is going to be huge. And we actually do see like Lofty AI lets people invest in fractions of AI vetted real estate via the Algorand blockchain. Absolutely killing it. So much is happening on Algorand, from gaming, education, dApps, NFTs. Everything around this space in regards to Algorand is extremely overlooked. I think even during 2021 it was extremely overlooked. This is one of those ISO 222 gems that just does not get a lot of recognition for what it is, for what they are doing. This is why I also do think that like when we look at the price action, we could come down. Like if we break, below this 22-cent range, this is also why I say like always have fiat on the sidelines just in case anything happens. The next level to really kind of buy on this thing, in regards to like a demand range, I would argue is probably around like this demand range down here all the way back to like 2020 at like 15 cents. So, we are watching some lows on this. I personally think that this 22-cent range will hold. I think that it is a pretty strong area to really kind of bounce off of and have a nice like recovery path. We still need to break out some nice targets before, we do get bullish on Algorand in the short term. If we are looking for some nice pumps, that would be about 35 cents. From there, it's about 46 cents. And from there, about 73 cents. And 73 cents, by the way, is the demand range to get back into, for us to actually get back into a bullish standard on Algorand, which, from our level that we're at currently, to that 70-some cent range, which, by the way, will continue to drop, but just getting back into like the 2021 summer demand range, it's about 127% of a move upward. So you love to see that. And like I said, the upside potential long-term on this project, if we do continue to see growth like we have seen, marketing like we have seen, not only that, but also go look at some of like the updates from the Algorand team themselves. Like they have a partnership with FIFA, which we did break down in the past in around May. They are absolutely killing it. They are going to be a major bridge from the sports area for retail individuals to flood in. We are seeing a lot of use cases being built out around like the retail sector. So I think Algorand long term, even short term, is also going to do pretty well. If we are looking at some like bear market rallies, we don't know exactly how high bear market rallies will go. All we do know is that we still are in a bear market. I'm watching altcoins that are looking pretty bearish, and Algorand has been one that has been bearish for the entire time frame that it's been down. I mean, I know that we had some nice pumps out. For example, like we jumped out to almost like 40 cents. Now we're back down to like 29 cents. The lowest point that we hit it was about like 27.5 cents. I'm still looking to see if we test this demand range down here at about like 25 cents, down to about like 22. I'm watching those levels closely. I am DCAing into Algorand because Algorand was one of my favorite tokens during 2021, and I think that it's going to be one of my favorite tokens even going forward as they do continue to expand their ecosystem. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this before. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.